Okay. Well, folks, we're back again. Here we are, Dean and Ann, and we're going to review the final episode, hopefully forever, of True Detective Night Country. Now, we started off, we kind of liked it. We were like, okay, there's potential. It's weird. It's kind of X-File-y.
It held my interest more than season 2 and 3, which I didn't get through.
Yeah, but we just watched the final episode. This is episode 6. And yeah, we're going to go through it and give you our thoughts on various things that happened or didn't.
All right. Go ahead. We're diving right in. I'm diving in.
All right.
We start out with them. They're on location. They're chopping through the thinnest layer of ice to get into these tunnels.
Apparently, you can just chop right into an ice tunnel.
Yeah, you can just chop right in. They have flashlights, and they have the pickaxe. I believe they were chopping with.
Yeah, but they have no spelunking gear. They don't tell anybody where they're going. They're just going to go down into a cave.
Yes.
Brilliant.
They're going through the tunnels when Navarro starts hearing kind of like, we need to go this way. And she squeezes through a tiny passage and they come to a dead end where she's like, no, it's here, it's here.
And then they collapse.
Yes, they fall into the ice.
Under another cave under the ice. Yes. So they fall like a complete full story that's like 10 feet and nobody broke a bone. It's ice, people.
Yeah,
it's cold.
It is. Yeah.
You break bones when you do.
You do.
Okay.
So they follow this and they come upon
Clark.
Clark.
Yeah.
Yes, Clark is down there and they chase after him where they find an underground tunnel lab.
A secret lab under the ice.
Yes. Yeah.
Where they're doing core samples.
Yes.
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 And then they find another ladder that leads up. They climb up the ladder and they're in the lab. They're in the secret Tisala lab or whatever.
In the ice lab, they do find the star-shaped weapon.
Yeah,
that was used to kill Annie.
Stab.
So they're like, hey, it's that weapon.
Yeah. So we're hot on the trail of finding the killer.
So they're in the station. They're looking for Clark. We not spend much time in the station.
Apparently, we didn't need to do a whole lot of investigating at the station.
No.
Till now.
Navarro tracks some wet footprints. Danvers goes and tracks down the Twist and Shout music.
For some reason, they split up.
Yeah, they do.
So Clark tries to trap Danvers in the ice sample storage facility.
Freezer, yeah, she's banging on the glass, saying, let me out, and calling for Navarro. And then Navarro gets attacked from behind with the fire extinguisher.
Fire extinguisher to the head. Yeah, it's great.
He's dragging her body.
He's clearly trying to kill her.
Yeah, Danvers does escape by using a metal rod to break through the glass. And she finds Navarro bashing Clark.
Beating the shit out of him, killing him.
Yeah, and so she stops her from killing Clark.
Danvers is concerned about Clark being their only witness, so don't kill him. You can't kill him. Remember that, folks.
Yes, we can't kill him.
That comes in handy later.
We do get to see a little bit of Pete action amongst some of these events.
Yeah.
Pete cleaning up the bodies, kind of.
In his underwear.
Yeah, in his underwear, taking a shower and stuff. Liz's daughter, Leah, coming over and be like, what are you doing here? Where's Liz? It's New Year's Eve. We're going to celebrate together.
Awkward scene.
Very awkward. He drives her back. They have a nice awkward scene with Kayla where they make angry amends. Or at least Kayla does.
Terrible dialogue.
It's really bad. It's a really weird relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Back in Salal. So that's just brief. All those kind of half interspersed throughout these events. Salal, Clark, he really loved Annie.
Yeah, he really loved her. And that seems clear.
And so
they decide to torture him.
Yes. Navarro plays the video for him.
Over and over again. On loop.
They tape the headphones to his head to make him listen to it.
It's really bizarre and criminal and un-American.
It was weird. Yeah.
I mean, what? Okay.
I mean, maybe they're throwing back to the methods that McConaughey and Woody used in the first season. They used some
questionable
methods, and so maybe that's...
I agree that they did, but you know what? As
works.
We've said all this time, it works, and you understand every move every character's making. And this season,
I don't feel like these characters earned to be weird like that.
They don't earn any of this stuff. They don't. Yeah.
So they leave him to listen to that for a while they go into the kitchen and eat snacks and talk about oranges, which drives me crazy. That
doesn't go anywhere.
Yep, doesn't come to fruition what these oranges
Spoiler
mean.
alert, by the way, the orange means nothing to anybody ever. Neither does the spiral, even though it keeps showing up.
Yeah. It really
Clark even says in just a passing, thing, time is a flat circle, which is one of your favorite quotes.
It is. I do enjoy saying that to people. So
it's a season 1 thing, by the way. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, okay, after they've eaten for a while, they go back to Clark to interrogate him.
Yeah, he's been listening to the loop this whole time.
We find out there was a microorganism that could save the world.
They discovered, these mad scientists up in Alaska, they discovered an organism that had been dormant in the ice for billions of years, and it could save the world.
I don't know what it could save. I didn't catch it.
No one knows.
I don't know.
No one knows what they're
maybe I'm just
talking
not smart enough.
You're too smart for it is the problem.
The permafrost was softened by the pollutants from the mines.
Yeah, they wanted the mines to contribute to the pollution because the groundwater affects the permafrost. We're supposed to believe that this is science? Shoot me in the head.
All right. So Annie somehow snuck in. He doesn't quite know. He does say she somehow snuck in.
Somehow
finds the secret lab and destroys it. Lund attacks her,
stabs her,
and then the
and then everybody else comes down
and help kill her too.
And they help kill her.
But she's
so it's 7 guys killing a girl because she destroyed their secret lab that's going to save the world.
Clark insists he did not participate in the killing because he loved her, but we see in the flashback that she was not completely dead, and he ends up suffocating her.
So it's one of those True Detective things where they're telling one story, but then we see the truth. Yes, he did help. He contributed to her death, even though he claims to love her. Again, nothing earned.
They did not cut out her tongue.
No, but they did get Hank to come and move the body, which he had admitted to as much in the earlier thing.
Yeah. All right, so somehow we have a little flashback to the Wheeler case amongst these interrogations.
Yes.
Where we see the man in the chair,
That's Wheeler in the chair.
Yes.
Just killed his girlfriend.
Yes, and we see Jodie Foster's almost going to kill him, but then Navarro does it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we hear a baby crying in the house.
And we see this because they're so angry at Clark that Navarro takes out her gun and Danvers leaves. Now remember when I said she was very concerned about not killing him, and now she's going to let Navarro kill him, and she goes out into the hall, waits for Navarro to kill him.
Yeah.
Which she doesn't do, and then they start talking about the Wheeler case.
Mm-hmm.
There's more to come.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, my next note is more angry notes about the orange. Danvers is cutting an orange in the kitchen. She's trying to make it a long slice like Navarro's mom used to do.
This is filler scene.
Oh, my goodness. The orange falls to the floor, and we see the wet spot where the tongue was found, and that doesn't come to anything either.
Nothing.
I don't know why we had to see that spot again. Kept seeing Annie.
Yeah.
She killed the men, is what I wrote. He held the hatch closed.
So this is Clark talking about what happened the night of, right?
Yes.
And so he thinks that there's some kind of supernatural thing going on. So he runs down into the hatch and holds it closed while all of his teammates are being, killed or whatever. He doesn't really know what happened, but he's holding the hatch closed because someone's trying to open it and get to him.
Yes. And
we'll find out who that is.
This is when he talks about time as a flat circle, because he didn't know how long he was there. Is it an hour? It could have been a week.
He came out because he was hungry. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
Which I like crazy, but again, it's not crazy enough.
Yeah, well, and then more crazy stuff. Danvers goes into one of their beds to rest and finds a cross necklace in her hair. Oh, okay.
Just non sequitur stuff. Everything is just at this point in the story. It's just like, okay, we're gonna just throw a bunch of scenes and images at you that maybe will increase your interest. Maybe will increase the tension in the scene. There's a lot of scenes where the generator or the power goes out, so Navarro's trying to start the generator, and there's some shit going on behind her when the lights are flickering. There might be a person there. It's all just intended to make us be like, oh, I can't wait for something important to happen, and nothing important ever happens.
All right. Sorry. Pete's driving the bodies. And as you mentioned, the lights are going out as he's driving.
Yes.
And then Danvers is dreaming of Holden, and the power has gone out.
That's her little son who died in a car accident, apparently.
The power has gone out at the station during this as well. She gets up and she's looking for Navarro, and she finds them outside, and Clark has frozen
to death because he sat down outside.
And I'm like, how long were they outside for? How long was she asleep for? How much time has passed? I don't know.
You can't tell.
Yes, and so this is when we're like, we got to start the generator, and I swear to God, there's a person behind her, amongst our flashlight.
Yeah, flickering.
Yeah. A hubcap flies past Danvers.
A hubcap in the station makes no sense unless it's like, time space thing where Holden's car crash brought forward this hubcap into the hallway of the station for Danvers to find, or they're all hallucinating.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something in the water.
Yes, Navarro hears whispering, sees Clark inside, and him
it's
going like, she's awake.
Giant mind fuck.
It is.
That's all it is.
All right, another mind fuck. We go to Rose. Rose is at home. She's cleaning a gun.
On New Year's Eve. Yeah.
While listening to the radio. Pete arrives. Take me to where Julia is.
Yeah, he just casually mentions, I've got a body that needs to go in the ice. Can you help me? And she's like, it's going to be one of those nights. Look like I picked the wrong week to quit smoking. Yeah. Jesus.
Oh, my goodness.
The dialogue is so dumb.
It's not great. It's not a winner. Miss Danvers has a nice little monologue about Holden, about don't talk about him.
Oh, yeah.
That big dramatic, while they're by the fire that they built.
This is some of the toughest acting that we've seen her do. And, yeah.
And she storms off angry, but she does come back and looking for Navarro, who is no longer there.
Oh, my God. Where is she?
Oh, can you guess? She went outside in the storm.
Because she's crazy and she's going to go kill herself in the snow.
Yeah, and she's walking, but she's seeing wreckage in the desert.
Mm-hmm. Which never gets explained.
Yeah.
Actually, almost nothing gets explained. Let's just cut to the chase.
Danvers sees Holden in the ice. She falls through the ice.
She falls in the ice, and then Navarro pulls her out, and so now they're cold.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Danvers asks what Holden has said, and Navarro says he sees you.
Everything that we've just talked about in these last 3 or 4 minutes took 25 minutes of screen time, and nothing happened. 30 minutes of screen time, nothing important happened. A lot of little stupid shit happened, but nothing major happened for the longest time in this show.
I don't even feel like even better character.
It wasn't development.
Yeah, or just, connections. Okay.
Perfect opportunity to have these two characters, get on the same page, right?
Yeah, I don't know.
Finally.
Have chemistry.
Yeah.
Okay. I do feel like there's a lack of chemistry. It doesn't matter. Rose and Pete. Rose cuts the air out of Hank's lungs,
and they put him in that thing.
And they do, and then they sit and talk on the ice, saying that now you have to deal with the future. That's the hardest part.
Mm-hmm.
Storm's over,
which implies that maybe she's killed people too. did she kill Travis? And that's why he's always hanging around her house?
Maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. What else?
We're back the storm's over. We're at Tsalal.
Yes.
And we're like, we can go home now.
The storm's over.
But Navarro does have to say some stuff first. She's like, when Clark was talking about holding that hatch, I've been stuck in a hatch in the dark. And now I'm finally seeing the light now.
And the detective brain suddenly turns on.
Yes.
Oh, she's like, wait a minute, the hatch.
Danvers wasn't just freezing cold and tired. Yes, she's like, the hatch, yes. She grabs a bottle of liquid that she knows where to find and dumps it all over the hatch, gets Navarro to get the black light.
Black light? They just have a black light. Okay.
And she knows where it is. They're looking at the fingerprints. What are we looking for? And they see a handprint.
Which is missing 2 fingers.
Yes.
Which I think you had read online that
that was somebody's theory.
That,
Yes.
the girl with the 2 fingers missing is involved somehow.
Yeah, from the very first episodes where they're interviewing.
Some of these people out there watching the show are very clever.
They go to the home of this lady with the missing fingers. It's Beatrice and Blair.
And it turns out that it's these 2 ladies that we met in episode 1, right? And we haven't really seen them since.
No, but they...
And the older one worked at Tsalal as a cleaner for that's how she discovers the
hatch.
The hatch, and then she goes down into the hatch.
These are brave women.
everyone's way more brave than they can be. She finds the tool, and therefore she's figured out these are the guys that killed everyone. So she's telling us this story about how she gathered up all these women from the area, this coven of witches, and they all have shotguns, and they burst in, and this is how they kill all these men, these 8 guys, and they basically kidnap them all, put them in the back of a truck, drive them out into the desert, or into the same thing. The tundra. Yeah. And they then force them out of the truck and take off their clothes, and then they stack all their clothes up nice and neat and make them walk away. And then they leave them and drive home.
They're like, if she wants them, she'll take them. And if she doesn't want them, their clothes are here. They could survive. It was...
And they never... So anyway, so that explains the deaths finally. Okay.
So Danvers says, we just came to tell you the case is closed. It was
an avalanche. Yeah, that's what the forensic report had said.
Yeah, which is what they believe killed the real people in the Diatal Pass mystery. Yes, and I know the writer was a fan of that. Oh, I learned about that at the Bigfoot Museum in Georgia. But the Bigfoot Museum they believe was Bigfoot. But if you look on Wikipedia, it was.
Oh, they think Bigfoot did it, but it was an avalanche.
Yeah, it's sort of decades to solve because it was a long time ago.
Yeah. Maybe this show will help them figure it out.
No, it's a great museum.
Yeah.
It's exactly what you'd expect. All right.
Okay.
So we figure it out. It's them. They leave. And we jump to the future where Danvers is being interviewed.
Probably by the state investigators.
First they ask about missing
Hank. Where's Hank? Hank's gone missing. Apparently, Danvers and Peter have figured out a way to frame Hank for the murder. Well, he did kill Otis. That's right. So his gun does the job there. But okay, so that makes sense. So then all you got to do is get rid of his body. So now it makes a little more sense. It just all happened so fast in that previous episode that they're like, oh, here's what we got to do. I'm like, no, you don't solve this in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But okay, so they figured out a way, and she's basically kind of just telling the investigators, we don't know, we're still investigating. So it's kind of their opportunity, the showrunner, to wrap up these loose ends, like who's gonna end up where, and then they start asking about Navarro.
Yeah, where Navarro is. Some people come to Alaska to find themselves. Some people come here to disappear. I think is what she says.
Nonsensical dialogue.
And we do see Navarro walking across the tundra and not a lot of clothes. So I'm not sure what that's supposed to mean.
Maybe it was summer.
Maybe it was. I don't know. They also ask about the Clark video. Navarro had taken a video of Clark.
and he admitted that his guilt before he committed suicide. Yeah. So, so I mean, it just kind of wraps up everything from the legal standpoint, so that we're not left with like, oh, is anybody going to go to jail for this shit? These various crimes that were committed by the protagonists.
Yeah. And it sounds like is the mine shut down? Is that what you got?
Yeah, the mine's done.
Because they asked, like, what are you going to do with the political unrest?
Yeah.
She says, it's not my job. That's not part of my job.
Chief of police. Right. Very good.
And then we end with
some weird scene where Liz is at a house that overlooks a lake, which is not her house, because her house didn't have a deck like that. And Navarro shows up. So is this a dream, or are they in cahoots again? What's going on?
Yes, I do feel like
I can tell you this. We've watched season 1 multiple times, and I will never watch season 4 again.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I don't see a reason to.
I mean, I've watched, and you didn't watch the other 2 seasons.
I tried. I tried to watch season 2.
I've watched both of them. And I would say that they're both better than season 4.
Okay.
That's saying something.
Yes.
I don't have anything against any of the actors. I think everyone did a fine job with what they were given. Some of these actors are really good actors, you know. I just don't think there was...
Something was missing.
Yeah, there was like a...
I don't know.
There's a hubris. There's a hubris to this kind of storytelling that's like, I'm just gonna write a premise, and we'll just show you a bunch of shit and get you hooked, but then never pay it off. And this is what happened with the people who wrote Lost, is that they had an incredible premise and they had nowhere to go with it. They just they just flitted away.
Yeah.
And this is, I hate this kind of crap. I like it when you know that you can trust the writer who's got it all figured out. I know exactly where we're going. I've written the ending, and then I'll go back and write the beginning. What people do is they write the beginning, and then like, we'll figure out the ending later.
Yeah. Yes, I feel like there's just a lot of questions. Like, who is Holden? What happened to him? Who was the man in some of these flashbacks?
Yeah, Conley mentions a name. Jake, maybe?
Okay.
Something like that. Jake and Holden.
Yeah.
That was her husband and son, and maybe they both died in the car. Okay.
Oh, that's the biggest mystery. Will she sneeze or not?
Was that a yawn or a sneeze?
Is it going to be a sneeze, but then a yawn at the same time? All right.
Okay. Well, so that's it for True Detective. I don't think there's going to be a season 5. I don't know how they're going to pull that off.
Well, they can pull it off. Maybe they'll have a better writer.
Yeah.
I'm not saying she wasn't. Something's just missing. She needs to keep practicing.
Yeah.
Keep working on your craft.
So anyways, we're going to start doing some other things. We've got some other things in the works, and you'll get more cool review videos from us. There's some shows coming out that I'm interested in. There's some stuff movies that are coming out that we might start doing movie reviews. So you can stay tuned for that kind of stuff. Thanks for going along with us on this journey. Please leave your comments, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. There'll be more videos coming soon.
Yes, there will be.
Don't know when, but we'll get to it.
Oh, yeah.
Next week. Next week, right? Yeah, let's do next week. Okay. Same bat time, same bat.
All right.
Anything else to say, dear?
We'll catch you on the flippity flip.
All right. Take care.